So I'm back in Scotland at the Edinburgh International Film Festival, and my guests are writer and director Janis Pugh, Louise Brealey, and Annabel Scholey. So, and we're here to talk about your film, Chuck Chuck Baby. But Janis, just before we dive deeper into your film, why don't you tell our viewers, just in a few words, what the film is about?
Chuck Chuck Baby is a musical and drama and love story set in a very lovely place called Flintshire in North Wales, and it really does explore all female love in all its forms.
We had a Christmas zombie musical here at the EIFF a couple of years ago with Anna and the Apocalypse, and now we have a Chicken Factory rom-com musical.
I prefer to call it a Lesbian-Chicken-Factory-Musical.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes, thank you. I know,
Wow.
That's why I've told you. It is excellent, and what's brilliant is then you watch their face and they go, and then you say the only correct response to that is not another one.
No.
And then they get very confused.
No, can't get enough of musicals. So, how did you come up with this story in the first place?
About 2018, I wanted to write a story about love. Obviously, if you my previous work, it always involves the musical elements of it. And it was just a love story, and I wanted to kind of write about two women who'd been kind of had difficult backgrounds, brutality, abuse, who come together in their 40s and find a beautiful relationship.
Spoiler, she keeps giving away the film.
I could have seen the film.
So,
well, they won't, they? It's too late.
So, what's up with the title? Is it just the name of the chicken factory, or is there something more to it?
It's a term of endearment. The word Chuck is I think,
I have
this as well.
no pressure.
It's, the word, when I go home to North Wales, a lot of people say, all right, Chuck. So Chuck Chuck Baby is the name of the factory. It's also a term of endearment of how we greet each other, especially in Northern.
Where I'm from, we say me duck. So they say Chuck and we say duck. We say love in Yorkshire, actually.
So you duck Duck Baby, you wouldn't have
No, don't. Quite the same film. That's about swimming.
So, Louise and Annabel, how did you come aboard of this film?
You go first, because you jumped on board earlier than me.
I leapt on board. Janis asked me to come for a drink a long time ago, before COVID, because there was going to be a reading of the film, and so I came to the drink, and Anne, the producer, was there, and I thought, oh, this is all very nice. They brought me a nice drink. There was a lovely chat about working class backgrounds and the fact that, and women, the fact that some people leave and some people don't leave, and we just had a big connection. Janis had seen, among other, obviously, amazing pieces of work. I mean, she'd also seen me yamming on about the NHS on some video I'd put up about junior doctors. So we had a lot to talk about, didn't we? Because we both feel quite strongly politically about that sort of stuff. Anyway, Janis asked me to come and do. Well, she said, "Will you do it?" And I said, "Yeah. What day is it on?" And she's like, "No, will you do the film?" And I was like, "Okay, Sally Hawkins isn't free." And that was yonks ago. That was ages before COVID. It's been a long journey, and so it was especially exciting actually to watch that unfold. And then obviously
I jumped on board. Was it January last
year? Yeah.
I met Janis, got on like House on Fire with her, and then I loved the script, obviously. I think because I'm from a working class background as well, West Yorkshire. I think we definitely had a clip of that.
That's it, connection.
Also, I think we all live with our hearts on our sleeves, the three of us, I would say. So that was a huge draw for me. And then we had a chemistry read, and
we had no pretty great. We worked really hard. It was hard work, unfortunately, but eventually we got there. And Annabel made the cut.
thank you.
I mean, look at it. Oh, it's so difficult. I mean, all I can say is I live in that film.
What? Hell of an actor.
No,
I need to interrupt at this point.
Oh, it's lovely. What have been your initial thoughts when you first read the script?
Like I say, I love the fact that Janis writes with her heart on the page. I'm all for that. I'm very attracted to scripts that are character-led, emotion-led. Joanne's journey is complicated. You know, she had a really difficult childhood, and we do touch on that, and I researched that, talked about it with Janis. So it was, as an actor, it's really exciting to delve into that. And the music side of it, I was nervous about, because I have done musicals, and this isn't that, it's not a straightforward musical. So I had to really let go of that and find Janis's process, which I think I did, and I really enjoyed it, but it was scary. I think I was really up for that challenge when I read it.
Well, what about your first thoughts?
Oh, well, my first thoughts, as I said before, were like, well, this is going to be an amazing film. Like, I looked at it and was like, oh, thank God for that. Also, just the fact that it wasn't about 20-somethings. I love 20-somethings. But they get all the parts, and it was time for the older ladies to have a shot. No, it was really important to me. Poor Belle's getting dragged into the older bracket, when of course she's still doing all.
I'm nearly on that.
She's nearly there. But I mean, in all seriousness, it's so important, I think, to tell stories about people of all ages, and obviously young people are more attractive, and so most films are made about them. But like, no, it's just, we don't stop being beautiful and interesting because we are, you know, a bit older. And I think it would have been really easy and also really disappointing for this story to have been told with, you know, with women who were 20 or even 30, frankly. And I just think it's just so exciting. You can feel that in Janis's writing. She's a champion of women, full stop, and that it doesn't stop when they stop being attractive to, you know, certain men, you know. Like, that's it. I think there is a bit in society where we are telling stories constantly about women that we want to have sex with, and somehow there's this notion that once you get over a certain age, then we're not interested in you anymore.
I think that's pressure we put on ourselves as well.
We've internalised it for
Yeah.
certain. Well, that's where the beauty industry cashes in, for sure.
But even funding the film, funding the film started a few years back, and it was a constant battle to kind of say, no, we're not changing the age of the women, because that's all I got.
Yeah.
Could we make them 23? No. What's the point of that story? You know, it's always, you credit to everybody, the producers who kept that kind of brave battle going on, and credit to these guys for coming on board and trusting everything about the script to kind of go, we are going to be bold and brave, and we are going to say, we are women in our 40s. Well, I'm a bit higher than that.
And she's a bit lower. Well, I know. Not yet made it. It's magic. But yeah, I think there is a serious point in all the fun, and that is that, you know, we all need to see ourselves on the screen, and it is a battlefield that you get.
We still have stories to tell until our last breath of life. There is always a story until you breathe your last breath.
Hopefully for me, that will be one.
I'm totally with you on all the. So, Janis, I read that these blue overalls have a special meaning in your life. So can you tell me about it?
I just like wearing them, Mike. Yes, throughout my work, they're always, and they'll be in the next film as well. It's just, for me, it's creating a world, and it's not a nostalgic world, it's a world I love to take the audience into. And it's kind of, you know, it's my past, it's my, something that warms my heart, and I think I take into a dreamlike world, but always keep the heart of the story very, very real.
I think in the factory that you worked in, the overalls. They were.
Everything was blue. My father wore blue overalls, my mother wore blue overalls, so I have this very kind of tug of heart towards this kind of, and you know, this. I think it's a beautiful image, you know, and it comes from when you watch anything by Jacques Demy. You can watch, you know, the room in the town, and the opening shot is, you know, hundreds of men in black and white, and the colour comes up, and it turns these. They're all in blue overalls. You know, you know, for me, it's that kind of Jacques Demy honed in very much where he came from, and I think I do the same. huge inspiration there from my background, when I saw things as a youngster quite cinematically, and I think it's just a beautiful aesthetic that just, I can't help doing it.
And Flintshire is amazing for that. I didn't know it at all before I went wrecking with Janis a long time ago now. And you do have these sort of, a really sort of, let's be honest, they've had the heart ripped out of them by Thatcher and co. You know, these little towns really where the industry's gone, and you've got all the sort of industrial sort of symbolism and remnants. And then you've got these wild places like you see in the film. They're right next to it. It's not like we had to get on a bus and get out really early and go for hours to find those amazing sort of moorlands. They're right there, and the sea's right there, and it's all very elemental. It feels like I'm surprised that there hasn't been a place where a lot of filming's been done before.
It will be.
Yeah, well, it's my childhood playground. The Ship was a working kind of market stall when I was growing up, and it was. You know, it was a busy little place, but like the whole area, it's just been left to rust. I think that, you know, coming back to the whole film, it's like Helen, it's the character, the kind of the rusting of life and the kind of wearing down. And these towns they've had everything taken from them. But they approach it with just beautiful humour and let's get on with it.
Yeah. So the boat you were just talking about, is it the Duke of Lancaster?
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Have you been on it, Michael?
No, I've seen it in the film, and I said I have to find out what that is because
yes,
it looks
beautiful.
beautiful.
It's been there for years, so probably from the age of about 7, it was called Fun Ship.
Oh.
It was kind of, I used to go there and pretend strangely enough, I used to pretend I was Olivia Newton-John on that ship, and I loved it, and it had market stalls, and it was lively.
Was there a disco there?
There's never been a disco on it. They tried to turn it into a disco, but obviously they can't get medical things down there, so they didn't get a license. But it's just been left and left and left. And it kind of resembles, it resembles the town. They've taken the coal, they've taken the steel, you know, it's like...
And it used to be graffiti. When Janis first wrote Chuck Chuck Baby, it was covered in graffiti, and then we went back to sort of...
And they tried to turn it into a zombie ship. Yeah, it's going to be a zombie ship.
Okay. So the film is having its world premiere tonight here at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. How excited are you all?
Well, Janis woke up at 5:30. I messaged her at 7:20 going, well, welcome to World Premiere Day, and Janis had already been awake for 2 hours sitting downstairs, chain smoking and shaking. So I'd say that Janis is quite excited.
Actually, don't smoke.
We're
very proud of it. You're bearing your soul to an audience. It's always going to be terrifying.
Definitely for a writer and director.
Yeah, it's kind of like terrifying and exciting.
But loads of lovely women who have worked in Chicken Factory down there and came to be our supporting artists in the film are going to be there tonight. They're playing an arm and a leg, a wing and a leg, I should say, to come up and support us tonight. So it just makes it feel so special because
this film
really
is for them.
it is. I was literally about to say that it's for them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's for your mum, my mum, and your mum, and you know, and all these beautiful. I'm going to cry. But no.
There's a very, very big symbol in the film. All of us, you know, well, I know Belle is very lucky to still have her parents, but there's, you know, the HOD's production design, camera. We all, I got Mandy the costumes, and she embroidered all the numbers of our mother's birthdays. On the overalls, you see the ladies wear Luke wears my mother's birthday, which I'm very, very proud of.
Oh, that's lovely. And right after EIFF, Chuck Chuck Baby is going to Toronto.
Yes.
That's quite a journey.
That's a long journey, isn't it?
Literally, yeah.
Well, it is about 6 hours, no, I'm kidding. It's a huge rubber stamp, isn't it, of like, bloody well done. I feel like it is an amazing thought to think there we were in the, you know, it's in rain. I'm thinking of the snow. Yeah,
and
it's snowed, it rained.
Yeah, it's massive for us. You know, we made this little film, I said, 26 days of shooting, musical numbers, amazing actors who gave everything in 3 takes if they were lucky. You know, they gave everything. I'm not like, he knows, I haven't had this conversation. It's, you know, it was difficult, but we did it, and we're very proud. And, you know, for us, kind of, Edinburgh was enormous.
Yeah.
Toronto is enormous. I mean, we just feel great.
I mean, to see it sort of on the world stage like that is just proper magic. It's really, really something, isn't it?
And I'm good to
Wish the
express.
chicken ladies could come to
It's
Toronto,
very dressed.
which means
And there's actually one thing I like to ask all of my guests. I know that having a budget is mostly good for a film because you have to get creatively challenged at some points. But would you have done anything different if you had, let's say, unlimited time or endless money?
I think, of course.
Many things.
Of course. But do you know what I also think? If we'd had endless money, we wouldn't have the film we have. You know, I really do believe that. I think that the energy of the film and the heart of the film is about people coming together to have a collaboration and having, you know, this hard work. It's hard and it's exhausting. But I think if we'd had a load of money, we'd have a very different
I
film.
think that's absolutely true. It was a massively team effort, wasn't it, when we were shooting?
Yeah.
And it was
We had
hard.
snow, we had
We did.
sun, we had rain. You know,
On the
it was
same day.
it was it was hard work and tribute to everybody on that. We
Yeah.
all pulled together.
And it's an
and we did
ambitious
it.
film, so there are big set pieces, and sometimes that's where it really does. It was real seat of the pants stuff, and frankly, it would have been good to have a few more quid because we could have been a bit more leisurely about those images. But you know,
It's
it
still
doesn't. It
there.
hasn't affected what we see. I don't think.
No, I think it's still there, and I think what we've got would have been very different with a load of money. I think we have something joyous, beautiful.
I'd have had a
heartwarming.
trailer. That would have been nice.
I would have had a break. We were shooting 11 scenes a day at one point. I think we were all like that. But do you know what? It was worth it.
I think the film is perfect.
A very bonding experience.
Thank you very much.
I wouldn't change the film.
Thank you
Oh,
very much.
I really, really
I've
enjoyed
always
it.
liked you.
So let's wrap up our conversation and have a look at the future. To all three of you, what's coming next? Are there any projects you can already talk about?
You're allowed to.
Maybe move on.
You're allowed to, yeah, Val.
Yeah, I think so. I've just shot something for Paramount Plus. Nothing like this. It's called The Serial Killer's Wife. That's out in December. That would be my thing. I think at the moment.
I've just done a 6-part, extremely bleak comedy for the BBC, which was executed by A24, who made Everything Ever All at Once. It's their first sort of British comedy for directed by Simon Bird, about a very dysfunctional family, and I play an absolute horrible. It's so much fun. She is a terrible person, a dreadful narcissist, and it's about how horrible she is to her children, grown-up children. That's called Such Brave Girls, and that's out in November, but I haven't told you that. I'll probably get told off for saying that, but we think it might be November. Fingers crossed. On BBC. BBC.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff. So I'm very happy. Stuff I can't talk about. I can talk about the Chuck Chuck Baby will probably go towards the theatre, as in a musical.
This one.
I have another project that I kind of probably going to shoot next year. I can't talk about that. And I have another one I also can't talk about, Michael. But it's all very good.
Busy.
I'm pretty sure it is. So good luck with the premiere tonight.
Thank you very much. Will you be there?
Hopefully.
Oh,
Hopefully.
great.
I'll try to.
Say hi.
We'll
We are
see.
sold out. If you need a ticket,
Don't ask.
Take
offer me a pint and give me a pint. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So
All the
lovely
best.
to meet you. Thanks so much for having us.
That's very kind.
Lovely, thank you.
Where we are off to.
I think we're still here now in this room.